Welcome to a video from digitallife.com. This video we're going to be talking about UMPCs, Microsoft UMPCs, something Microsoft championed from 2006 to about 2010. UMPCs, Ultra Mobile PC, also known as Project Origami, and we'll come back to the origami side of it later. But the idea behind these were portable PCs that you could take with you that were smaller than your chunky laptop, or even the tablet PCs of the time were quite chunky. This is pre-iPad, this is pre-Microsoft Surface, and this is a Sony Vaio, and the battery's long since died on this, so I have to use it plugged in all the time. So if I knock that out, it will flick off, but we'll power it back up. So the idea, like I said, was to take a PC with you on the go. They've got full Intel processors, this is the home premium version of Windows Vista. They came with docks like this one, which this has got a nice dock which has got all the ports you need, VGA on there, it's got Firewire on there, USB, networking, power, the audio ports. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dock this now so that I can show you the features a bit better. It also had the headphone ports, dedicated camera button, and a macro mode for camera, fingerprint reader, and a rear facing camera and a front facing camera. So let's get this in the dock and fired up, and I can show you some of the software. So like I said, these were portable devices. The Q1, which I thought was a nice device, which I've still got somewhere. There was the Y-Brain one, and there was the OQO, which was more like this, these smaller ones as well. And at the time it seemed like it was just amazing that you could fit Windows in your pocket. Actually, when you look at the size of this is one of the smaller ones. The Q1 has a slightly bigger screen. I think it's got a 7-inch screen. But you compare that to something like a Surface Duo. That's the single screen, the Surface Duo, and you can see it is a small device. The Q1 is a little bit bigger, as you see from these pictures. The reason it was called Project Origami, that was the code name for it, and I think that was the idea that these would ship in different sizes. But to be UMPC, I think officially they had to be less than 8 inches or less, with a minimum resolution of 800 by 480, and running some kind of touch packs. So originally it was Windows XP Tablet Edition, and then the later ones ran with Vista. Unless I said Windows 7, but Vista was resource hungry, so this machine was actually quite quick because it was one of the first machines to ship with SSD in it, so small machines that suited the SSD, so it made it quite quick. The Q1 was kind of sluggish, and you would wait 30 seconds for it to do anything, especially if you ran Windows 7 on it. This one has a 1.3 megahertz Solo processor, I think it was called, Intel Solo processor, and it's got 1 gig of RAM. But like I said, it's got touch screen on here, you've got a mouse, controls, and a full keyboard. The origami part of it became the Origami Experience, which is a way for Microsoft to create a touch-friendly experience for the devices. So here you can see that touch-friendly UI. You had videos, you've got your picture viewer, program viewer, so program launcher, applications, folder share, remember that? Internet Explorer it came with, there were some other applications on here like Microsoft Reader, do you remember that? Windows Media Center's built in, it's obviously got the built-in applications, backup and everything else. We've got touch settings, and so we can optimize our touch settings, which I haven't done on this machine, so it's probably quite worth doing, but maybe I'll do that later. And of course you've got some of the 3D effects. So actually it's got the nice effects. There you go, there's the input panel. So it has got the Vista Aero effects built into it as well. So it's actually, this machine was quite a capable device for the time. Like I said, the Q1, this was a bit of a slow experience. It's a pity I can't get some of the software. The camera buttons don't work because I can't find the software that comes with it, the Sony software. It's long since wiped off this device. Of course, as well as having the Origami Experience, it had Windows Media Center, which is actually pretty good for running in touch mode or using the keyboard navigation, the arrow key navigation. But overall, obviously the disadvantage with a device like this is these touch targets are tiny. It's got a really small screen. This mouse has a tendency to think you're clicking when you're not clicking, and you end up dragging it around like that. But it does work. It's a full PC, and that was the thing at the time. So what happened with UMPCs? Well, part of the issue was the price. Let's go back to this one. This was nearly £2,000 when it originally launched. The Samsung ones were cheaper, but still I think they were expensive. Over around £1,000, and they really for what they were expensive. They never really took off. Like I said, Vista wasn't designed for it. Windows XP wasn't. Even Windows 7 was never really designed for it. Limited specs meant that they were just not good enough for it to take off, other than enthusiasts. And maybe if you had a special use case, you needed a PC. That's what I've used. That's what I've used them for at the time. I wanted to carry a PC around with me, and that's what I have with this. And the dock actually made quite a nice device, but in the end they were never really good enough. But I did like using these. The Q1 was a bit more of a media device. This one was faster, but it was okay. You could get your email on there, get your Windows Live Messenger on there, and let's say ran Windows programs, so you can get your media on there. So yeah, it could do everything that you could do on a PC, just in a small form factor. Anyway, in the end, the UMPCs didn't take off. Microsoft sort of gave up on them around 2008, 2009, 2010, and that was kind of the end of the road for UMPCs. I suppose you could say modern smartphones have taken that mantle now. Windows Phone was perhaps a way to was something. Now we've got things like the Surface, and you've got iPads, so that's been taken up by these devices. Yeah, Intel Core Solo processor at 1.3 megahertz. But this is the device. Nice little package. This is the Sony one. I like the Q1 as well. But anyway, forgotten a long time, but yeah, I have fond memories of these devices. If you had a Q1 or any UMPC, let me know. If you had one of the OQOs or something else, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.